Sonny.
Mike.
Bro.
Finally
get to chat to you, man.
Mate, honestly.
It's been ages. I've been wanting to sit down with you for months just to kind of get into it, understand where you are, understand where you've been.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've kind of been in part of the journey, like, all along as well.
Very true. I
remember coming down when I was 15 and, you know, you've been best mates with Dave for a long time.
Bro,
and
it's true. Mate, we go back years, man.
I do.
It's so let's cheers to that,
Cheers,
first and foremost.
Brother, honestly.
Yes.
Got the brandy here.
That's it, man.
Nice one.
So, yeah, bro, let's start this conversation. So, what I wanted to do really is roll back the years and really understand, because I remember you telling me about this, that when you first started doing all this singing, performing, it was a very long time ago, right? And you told me stories about going into the pub at some early age of like
13,
mate, crazy. So
and it is mad thinking back to that, like, you know,
right? Of course.
But obviously, my dad was a singer as well. Yeah. He was in the bands in South Shields, and like I remember going like down the main street in South Shields, and like when I was a kid, and like everyone was like high fiving me dad, and like he was quite a popular man in the town, like. So I think I definitely strive to be that as well. Like,
I see what you mean. And how old was he when you were that age then? So
he must have been. He had me. Well, he didn't have me. My mum did. They had me at like 29. So I must have. Like, this is from my 5-year-old. I'm talking here.
Okay.
And he was probably in the peak of the band then. Like, when I couldn't go and see them, to be honest, I was too young. But
wow.
Mate, even to this day, like in South Shields, the people come up and say, "Oh, your dad's band was the best ever."
Really?
And, like, so it definitely was an inspiration.
What was the band's name? What was
called Pineapple Head.
Amazing. There we go. Look, we know what we're doing. Amazing. Oh, that's great. Well, listen, cheers to that.
And
and obviously the main thing that I wanted to understand is what really drew you into that. Like, were you always intrigued about that when you were younger, or was it something that you know he made you come along to?
Well, I remember like just when you have karaoke at parties and stuff, like. Right. I remember just like being fearless, you know what I mean? Like, and getting up there and I would sing, "Don't Stop Me Now," like Queen and all that.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
But I do, like, it was just surrounded in the family music, and my mum was always just like, "Oh, go on, get up, man." And like, so I always had that, like, you get that buzz when you know yourself, you know, like, Mike's an amazing singer, everyone.
Oh, I'll take
that. But I just had, you get that buzz when you're on stage, and like, I got really good reaction, so I carried it on, and then probably took a break for a little while, and like when I hit secondary school, I had an amazing school who got us back into it, getting on stage and stuff. And then I started pub gigging with my dad at 13.
Crazy.
And like, you earn a decent like wage for a 13-year-old.
And like, mate, pub gigs are my favourite gigs.
Honestly, same. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you get the crowd anywhere else. Like, just up for it, and like.
I agree with you, pal.
But
I agree with you.
I would, mate, just I started the pub gigs with my dad. He would give us half the money. And then I just like...
At 13, 14, mate, what were you spending it on?
Mate, I don't even know, like, but it was good because we weren't like the most rich household in the world, so it just took a bit of pressure off my mum maybe as well, like.
Of course.
Because she was a single parent at the same time, so it was like, all right, I'm gonna, if I'm going out, I'm paying for it sort of now. And if I'm getting that new item of clothing, I'll probably chip in.
All
like,
from the pub gigs?
But like, I was earning a good living, like, I couldn't expect my mum to just be like, but like, that's where I'm lucky, like, a lot of my mates and I had to wait until after school and stuff, but I was lucky that I just knew what I wanted to do straight away.
Amazing. And what is your mum? She's not a musician at all, is she? Or?
Well, she used to do the pantomimes and stuff.
Really? So she can sing as well?
Oh, mate, she's great. Like, apparently, I think she was great. But
yeah. But your dad was the main influence in terms of...
I think so, yeah.
Amazing.
And Granda as well. Granda plays loads of instruments. And
really?
Mate, when I think now that I'm an adult, like, the family was like dead musical.
Right.
And even just listening.
Siblings? Have you got siblings at all?
Got 2 siblings. An older sister who I grew up in the same household with.
Okay.
And then my dad had a separate marriage and had my half-sister Sky, which is my real sister, you know what I mean?
Right, and you still see like Sky
all the time, aye.
Amazing. So you got 2 sisters.
Sky's a great singer, and Catherine's an amazing singer as well. Like, so.
Wow, so
my dad's got them genes, you know.
Right, that's it, mate. I applaud you because I did not know that. So that is something that I've just learned. So mate, amazing.
Oh, Catherine's voice, man. She's had a family now, and that, like, but she could have definitely pursued the music career as well. Like,
right, can't get her to do some BVs for you,
mate. I should, you know. I've been thinking about getting her down to London, but she's had 2 consecutive kids, like, sort of thing. So, as you know, it takes up time, like, doesn't it? Like,
man. Listen, that is amazing. And it probably leads on to my next question, which is obviously I saw you in Jazz Cafe, did some little bits for you around there with my phone, filming and the camera and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite interesting. You had a full live band in that, and that's obviously, good 500 cap.
Aye.
And I saw the crowd, like, honestly, the way that I've seen you grow and see the 500 people all sold out in Jazz Cafe. How did that feel? Just to see like people with like, like Sonny t-shirts, like, and all that in the front row and all that kind of thing, like proper fans, like waiting outside. That was quite.
If I look at my career so far, that's highlight number one probably. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Of course.
Because obviously we've done that tour, we're all knackered by the end of the night, just touring is like that. But like, I think that was like the final one where we're all looking forward to it, and it's like we know it's sold out, and it's Jazz Cafe, which I started kind of my career there. Like I supported Gabrielle Applin there.
Really?
Like,
how long ago was that?
That was like 7 years ago, before Princess and all that.
Wow.
So like that was one of my first gigs, like, and thank you to Gabrielle who like give us a chance to support.
So like where you started to go back now, sell it out as a headline.
And
by
I
yourself.
knew then it was an iconic venue, and I was like, and my mum was like, God, Amy Winehouse has played there and stuff. I was like,
mate, we got to sip to that then.
Come on, man.
That is amazing.
Made my face after pulling.
Oh, mate, that is crazy. So, I guess what I'd also try and, like, I really want to know what kind of keeps you motivated, because Jazz Cafe, that's like, right, I've made it. Like, you can almost like kind of, I know, right, I've kind of done it, ticked everything that I need to do. You started there, you kind of sold out Jazz Cafe. What keeps you motivated to really kind of keep striving in the musical career? What are the things that you really want to kind of achieve? And
I mean, there's aspects of the music stuff that I love more than others, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the writing side of it. Like, there's no other feeling, there's no better feeling of sitting in the studio and like writing a banging song, like, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a motivation. And there's highs and lows as well, by the way. Like, sometimes I'm a bit down about it all, and like you sell out the Jazz Cafe and then you get home and it's like, oh, like, what's happening now? Like, I haven't released in like over a year.
Cool.
And that's been hard as well, you know what I mean? Like, but I overall keep it motivated. It's just getting back on it, writing new songs all the time, just get them out there next. Like, always have something to be excited about. Like,
that's amazing. Do you look at it and think, right, I need to hit kind of mainstream now? Or are you sitting there thinking, because obviously, mainstream and getting that kind of big hit that literally blows you up, or is that something that you're trying to aspire to?
100%, mate.
Right.
Like, my dreams are like
Wembley.
Sky high. Do you know what I mean? Of course, like, you know what I mean? And I think it's that, like, I fully believe in that as well, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But obviously, we've had a great little journey so far as well, but I am definitely ready to go to that next level. Do you know what I mean?
Amazing, bro.
But time, it takes, like, it happens when it happens. I do.
Of course it does.
I fully believe in that as well. And maybe if it did happen 2 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready for it. But I just feel like I'm buzzing about what's to come now, and like, we've got some 6 songs in the bank.
Well, that's amazing.
Just happy days, mate.
So yeah, because, well, funny you say that, because you sent me some of the new music, man. And so can you talk a bit more about the new kind of original music that you got coming? So
we went to Mumbles, where Harry lives.
Okay.
Harry's a producer, for those who don't know.
Big up, Harry. Good friend of mine.
Yes. Yeah. He's so good as well. But we've done like a writing camp there, and people might have heard of that, like artists go to a certain location and just bring the best, their favourite producers and writers.
Of course.
And mate, it was like exhilarating, to be honest. It was like, I've never experienced that before. Like, I was like bringing up voice notes from 3 years ago of like little ideas I'd wrote.
Yeah.
And then all my favourite people were in the room, and just, it was coming to life, you know what I mean? Like,
well, what's funny actually, because I saw you guys doing that on socials, and knowing like both Dave and Joe, who obviously, your management and what have you, I think it's quite interesting because each of them, I've known them to be singers, right? So, and Joe having a, fantastic career. Dave, obviously, I've been in the band with Dave for years. So seeing them as singers, and then everyone in the room, and obviously Harry as a producer, bass player, and the people that are kind of affiliated around that, you got Mo doing his stuff and that. All those people just around that kind of like hub of like creativeness must 100%. Have just been amazing, man. So,
I mean, mate, I feel lucky to have even like met all you, like, you know what I mean? Obviously, when I was a bit younger, but now I'm an adult now, and it's like, it's great. Like Harry's such a good friend now, and like, I don't know, it's just been a proper lush journey getting to know all you. And mate, I'm so lucky to have met Joe and Dave as well, because they've like brought us into this Keep Musical hub, which isn't in Newcastle, to be honest. Like,
of course.
Well, maybe there is, but obviously all my mates, they're just like lads, like, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm going to write songs with them, and like.
Are they still based up in up north as well?
Well, some are darting about, like Australia. One lad's moved to, and like.
Right.
just taking the job somewhere else, which I fully respect as well. Like, I think if I wasn't doing the music thing, I'd be all over, you know. Like, you've got to travel the world.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I just haven't got that musical hub in Newcastle, so I feel lucky to have found it here. Do you know what I mean? I found people that I really connect with and
of course
write amazing songs with. Like,
that's amazing. So just thinking about the actual music, I know you obviously started gaining a lot of kind of popularity through doing TikTok covers. I've seen a lot of those, man.
Yeah.
Actually, funny enough, there was a weird. I was on your TikTok the other day, and I saw someone that started covering your material. What on earth is that about,
mate? It's just,
I think it's like ripping your vocal.
Didn't know is I don't mind that as well. I keep saying it, but like, people are allowed to use sounds on TikTok, so it's like he's just miming along to my voice,
right?
And at first it was all good and that, but then we started getting messages from couples and like, oh, he's almost took a deposit off. We're like, he's pretending to have this voice and for like a wedding or.
Oh, mate, that's cheeky.
I don't know if he's actually taken money. I think he has, hasn't he?
Right.
I know, but like, man, it's just. I felt like I had to address it after that because like, man, people know. I don't know.
That is, but what it does show is that your voice is flipping great. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, just take it as a compliment," and I was for a while. I was like, "Oh, that's really nice of him." But then,
of course,
obviously, when it takes that step too far, I'm like,
don't take the mickey. Don't break the law.
Even just let people know that this is happening, so it's like kind of stops them in a way. Like, I don't know.
Of course. Okay, so I'm hearing that you're working with some big time producers now, man, moving up in the world. So obviously, working with the likes of Harry, who are obviously doing some wicked things.
Mm-hmm.
But can you talk a bit about that? So like,
I mean, mate, I think the last like year and a half I've been doing outside sessions. Like before that, it was just me, Joe, and Dave, which like I fucking love working with Joe and Dave, and I was kind of skeptical about going out into outside sessions because I've tried it before, and it's just, I don't know if that's the way I like working. It's like, I think you find your people. That's why the writing camp was. But by the way, I did bring people from outside sessions to the writing camp. It's like you have to do that to learn who you work best with, I suppose. Like, and but mate, there's some amazing people I've worked with, like Ed Druitt, who's a really good friend of mine now. We've done all the One Direction stuff, and
oh really amazing.
It's like called Toby Tripp. I really enjoy working with just more recently. Mate, the list goes on, to be honest. Wayne Hector, who done like Flying Without Wings and Super Bass, Nicki Minaj.
Of course.
Mate, he's a cool dude. Like,
these are classic names, man.
Oh,
these are
mate,
like,
honestly, and I'm so grateful as well. But I just find that it's like a bit of a pressure cooker. Like, no one else feels it. Well, maybe they do actually in the music industry, but I just find the way I work best is probably just in the living room on my guitar and like, do you know what I mean? But I'm so glad I went through the experience of doing outside sessions. And
did you find that they, like the producers, were telling you different things about yourself? Because obviously,
100%.
So they were telling you different things that you maybe didn't know. So like almost like an outside view, right?
And that's good as well. That's definitely good to hear as well.
Healthy, of course.
It's like I tried going down some different directions as well, and like, which is good for me because I feel like for years I didn't know what my sound was. Right. I still feel like I don't fully know what my sound is because I love country, I love rock and roll, like Beatlesy stuff.
Right.
I love R&B. I love typical soul music. You know what I mean? And
because you've got a wide mix. But this is one thing I'll say about you. Like, of since I first met you, when I heard your voice, I was sitting there thinking, wow, what's he into? Like, just musically, like, obviously a lot of my influences when I sing, you can hear them very clearly.
100%.
So when I was young, I was listening to a lot of R&B, a lot of all that kind of gospel stuff, right? So all the stuff when I'm hard singing is all that. But your voice is you can hear the different bits of influence all over the place. So it's really interesting that you say that.
Do you know, I feel like that is why the covers on TikTok work as well.
Right.
Like, obviously I've done a million like pub gigs as well, like where you're just learning cover songs. But like, I feel like maybe that's why people like me covers, because I do like a lot of different types of music, and I'm influenced by a lot of different types of music. But it's definitely been a bit of a curse as well, because I'm like, what am I? I just never knew, because I love singing soul music. I love just doing a typical pop song as well. Like,
well, bro, I mean, I was doing my research on you before we started, man. So I was looking 6.3 million TikTok likes.
Mate, that is pretty mad.
What is going on? So you must be like hitting, the kind of interest of a load of different people, man.
And
so
obviously the covers have been a massive help with that as well.
Right.
But I want the originals to cut through now.
That's it. Well, it's going to come. I'm sure it will, man.
Writing the best stuff of my life. Come on.
There you go. Exactly that.
I do really appreciate that though, by the way. TikTok's changed my life really, like, you know.
Right,
so
okay.
Forever grateful.
So do you find that, because it's funny, I mean, obviously I do a lot of, you know, like wedding entertainment or corporate entertainment. And what I find is that using TikTok, a lot of people would like approach me to do maybe private events. Do you find that comes with TikTok as well?
100%. But sometimes they'll write down like 30 TikToks I've done, right? And it's like, I only learned 30-second clip.
Oh,
I'm like, oh shit, I've got to learn.
Perform all these songs.
They think I know the full song then, you know what I mean? But I'll still do the odd wedding and stuff, and I still really enjoy it, man. It takes us back. Do you know what I mean? I love a good wedding gig, and it's like, instead romantic.
Yeah, because
I'm single.
Yeah. And you know what it is with weddings? It's like, it's quite true, isn't it? I think when you get on stage, I can imagine there's a pressure to kind of perform and like, obviously you're being yourself, but you know, you very much realize that all eyes are on you, right? Kind of fit this kind of box or idea that I have of you. But then with a wedding, you can kind of let a lot of that go, right?
But I mean, ceremony, sometimes I'm like, I'm bricking it before, because obviously the bride's going to walk down and everything's going to go perfect.
Yeah,
but
of course. Don't miss a note.
But mate, I used to really enjoy doing weddings and pub gigs, but obviously you don't want to be doing down the road pub for free when you're selling tickets for a tour or something as well, like, you know. But
oh, that's wicked, man. That is really interesting to know. I mean, also just looking at some of these other social numbers, man. I'm saying 60 million streams. At what, Spotify is that?
Wow, man. That's. I love that one. That's a lovely one. Like,
it's funny because so without going too off topic, so I'm part of a group called the Music Connoisseurs, and we're always looking at new artists and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, I know you very well, so I'm putting in that. It's like a WhatsApp challenge, right? So I put your song in there, and everyone's like, "Who is this guy? His voice is amazing."
Mate, I love that, man.
Right, but the thing is, it didn't qualify because you had to basically find an artist that had less than X amount of streams or whatever, or less than X amount of listeners. But you didn't qualify, so I was like, okay, obviously he's doing something.
But it was too high.
It's too high, bro. You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing. You know, we try and find like really kind of
that is good
unsigned artists. You know what I mean? So,
mate, I need to start something like that as well, just because I love hearing new songs as well. Like, obviously in today's world, it's like, I heard there's like 30,000 songs a day getting pushed on Spotify. Do you know what I mean? So there's hidden gems everywhere, and I don't know. Maybe I need to listen to, because I'm stuck on the same old like playlist that I listened to like 5 years ago. You know, I need to like.
Oh well, listen. That leads me to another good section of what I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So listening to your music, I have to thank you again for letting me, hear some of that stuff, man. I know you're going to be releasing some of that soon.
Mm-hmm.
But tune called Panorama that I listened to all the lyrics on here, man.
Yeah.
It's quite a deep tune, man.
It is quite
talking
deep.
about some good stuff, or like, I say good stuff, but like very kind of thoughtful stuff about the world. You want to talk a little bit more
I mean,
about
I just think the world's a bit fucked up at the minute.
Right.
Like, you probably agree, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
bro.
But sometimes I feel I back away from it as well. Like, I don't really watch the news because I feel like it's depressing. Do you know what I mean? But also, I should be getting knowledge. Like, I should be knowledgeable on what's going on in the world as well.
Bro, listen, I haven't watched the news since 2016.
You haven't?
Seriously, I just haven't been interested because, so I can completely understand your point on that.
I suppose Panorama is just my view on the world, even down to like the London Underground. It's like, oh, when you walk around, every head down, I can catch a smile. But it's like, I think especially in London as well, to be honest, it's like there's definitely more of like people chatting to each other up north. But like, and I found that hard when I first come down. Everyone's a bit like in their own little world, but that's just today's thing. Have you seen that new Apple thing, man?
Yes, that's
like,
crazy.
That's just like, everyone's just going to be in their own little bubble.
I saw an ad for it, and I was just like, because I'm a bit of a techie guy, so I was like, do I want that? But I was like, this is getting a little bit scary, man. So I don't know.
I still kind of want it.
Me too. Right, let's just do that again, man.
But I suppose, I just think with these new songs as well, I'm finding my voice more than anything. And now the sound I've struggled with, but more than anything, if it's me talking from the heart, then that's the main thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And that, like, just being a Geordie as well, like even when I'm singing sometimes now, I'm just adding that Geordie twang in that, and I love that, you know what I mean?
Well, that's funny, because when I'm listening to, I saw a tune, and obviously I'm a football man, right? I was listening through on the, and it was Hawaii, how do you pronounce Hawaii? Hawaii, there you go. And the first thing that like stood out to me, obviously I go a lot of away game. I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, as you know, right? But and I had a bad time when I went up to Newcastle, right?
I've had a few bad times with Arsenal as well, to be honest.
But when listening to that song, it sounded like Anthem-like. So it's like, is that something that you're going for on that? Because I know you're into Newcastle.
To be honest, it was the first song we done in Mumbles when we went to see Harry.
Right.
And I was on the train and I just had this like African style chant in my head, like I couldn't get rid of it. And it wasn't even meant to be how it was, just like da 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 da. And then,
so but I was marching kind of, yeah.
I was just picturing the start of my show. I'd just come off tour. I was like, I just want this thing to start off this show, like really set the tone. You know what I mean?
Epic.
But then, like, just coming out my mouth was Howie, and then it kind of like just how much I love the people in the community of Newcastle. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like we're very working class.
Yeah.
And obviously, then I love the football club as well. And it turned into this anthemic thing, and then.
Have you played that song for anyone in Newcastle, and how did they receive it? Has anyone in Newcastle like kind of?
Everyone's loving it, to be honest.
Really?
But I went down to the stadium. We're playing Luton on Saturday.
Okay.
And I was just outside the stadium, just getting people's first reaction to the song.
We're outside in.
It's outside St James's.
Wow. Okay. So do the club know about the song at all?
I don't think the club know, but I think Sky Sports have been in. Like, they came to one of the gigs.
Rewind. Just because this is news to me. What are you talking about?
It wasn't the Jazz Cafe. It was the Christmas London show.
Right.
And I think there's some woman from Sky Sports there, and like, we're really interested in. I think it was the Place I Love. I've heard that it's about South Street. It was like my hometown.
Yeah.
And then we had this song in the bank. And we're like, oh, well, this is there if you like that. And like, they've just been in touch ever since. Like, obviously these things aren't 100% ever, but
right. So Sky
like,
Sports have heard the song. So are they trying? Is it going to be like affiliated to Newcastle in any way?
I hope so. Yeah. Well, if it's on Sky Sports, it'll be affiliated with Newcastle.
So it'll be like potentially, because I mean, at Arsenal there's a song called North London Forever.
I've heard that.
Right, amazing. And that rings around the stadium.
That's pretty recent as well, isn't it?
Very recent. Last season when that was bellowing around the whole stadium. So is that something could you imagine? Like it could maybe.
I would just imagine them players coming out.
Newcastle Anthem.
That would be a dream band, honestly.
That's amazing.
Well, you've got to expect high. I mean, you've got to dream big,
mate.
You know, expect high.
Man, I want to keep an eye on that one. That's
amazing. I'd be buzzing if that happened. But
oh man, wicked. So also, and there's some other wicked Eggshells as well. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Eggshells, so that's like more of me R&B influences as well. Like,
yeah.
And Joe's obviously a massive. Joe and Dave are both R&B heads, you know. So
right.
I've just been obviously I've grown up here as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I live in the same house as Joe and Dave, my managers and my best mates and my producers and my songwriters, and I've a lot of my influences have come from them as well. You know what I mean? I was a kid when I first started coming down, and I've definitely gotten more into the R&B side of things as well. And just
you know me, I love it. I love all that stuff. That was one of my favourites when I heard it as well.
But I love that song so much. It's like it's just a vibe, innit? A lot of R&B is just like it's a vibe, it's a groove. It's like I love that.
And then I guess because there's 4 tracks that I heard. Is there 4 tracks that you're looking to? You recently recorded.
Did you get Signals?
This is the one. This is the one I was going to talk about.
That is one of my favourites as well.
Like,
I love that,
bro. So what? Because again, I was listening lyrically to that tune, and can you just talk a bit more about what inspired you to write? Because obviously you write all of those tunes as well. So can you just?
To be honest, when I first started writing it, I had one of my friends in mind. I'm not going to get into who it is or anything, but like I think there's a culture in Newcastle, a massive drinking culture, and I struggle from it myself. Do you know what I mean? And like, I just basically like the lad misses work all the time the next day because he's out drinking and that. And
so I just saw a negative.
It's like it's from.
Culture.
I mean, in the song, it's my perspective. I'm like, sorry, careful, gotta call in.
Of course.
But I think I'm just noticing the massive drinking culture in Newcastle as well, and there's definitely alcoholism in my family, and I'm starting to put that in a lot of songs as well because it's
being real about it.
It's quite deep rooted, and it's something I want to talk about. And there's definitely issues up north with the drinking. I've noticed that since living in a different household as well.
Of course.
But I'm battling all the time as well. I'm like, just have the one brandy and then, you know, like just move on.
That's quite interesting actually. Like obviously like living in a different, I presume what you mean is like living with Dave and Joe for like a sustained period of time. and then seeing maybe their drinking cultures and comparing
100%.
it to yourself, and then thinking,
and just I would like I'm a person who'll have like a couple of drinks and then it lasts all night after that. Like,
and was that like normal to you? Did you think
mate,
this was
100%. I mean, I'm 24 as well. I didn't give myself such a hard time, but I think in the last maybe year or two, it's gotten like, right, calm down, mate. Like, I haven't got a voice today when I'm meant to be singing. Shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it totally fucks your voice as well. Like,
But what I think is quite interesting about what you said is that obviously you're writing music about it, so which is a good thing. Like, it's something that you're aware of.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that you can
100%.
control as well.
Yeah.
But that's obviously really honest, because that's a really serious topic, right?
100%.
So,
mate, I'm very self-aware as well. Like, I beat myself up all the time about it as well.
right.
I think it's just, you grow up, it's like, you don't see your friends without a pint up north. And it's like, whereas it's like, maybe Joe and Dave will drink for the taste of a nice wine.
Yeah.
I'm drinking to get fucked on my head.
Yeah,
like,
but
you know
bro,
what I mean?
I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not here all the time, and I've never seen you act in a kind of funny way. So I wouldn't say it's...
Do you know what? I'm a good drunk. I'm a very loving, loving person. Like, it never gets angry or anything, but maybe once with David, bro. That's very funny all the time. Honestly.
No, what happened there? You got to talk to me about that.
We went to Ibiza. Like, I don't know what happened. Like,
little Barney.
Dave will tell this better, but basically he wanted to go home, and I was like, I'm staying out. I'm not leaving. Like, I had a right little tantrum over it.
Okay, fair enough.
No, but
and that was a drink talking, you reckon?
I mean, even that, it's nothing, is it? But
handbags, yeah.
But mate, anyways, I'm in a good place at the minute.
That's good.
I'm back in the gym. I'm loving that, and just you've just got to control it. Everything in moderation.
Yeah, and you look great, man. You look fantastic, bro. Like,
I feel like I lose my head if I don't go to the gym as well. Like, you know what I mean?
But you need to inspire me, because
you're looking good, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
I just feel like I'm just the best version of myself when I'm doing. I just confidence and everything. If I'm on stage and that, like, I don't know.
I always found when I go to the gym, it's like I've just got that extra spring in my step.
100%.
Like, so, and even mentally, like, I'm just like kind of ready for the day. Like, if I go early doors, I'm just like, yeah, right, I can go attack it and get whatever I need now. So,
and even the I had 2 days off, just like, then I feel like, I'm getting a bit anxious. Like, you know what I mean? And I put it down to that, me. Like,
so really, is it a daily thing where you're trying to go like to the gym daily, at least do some kind of fitness to?
Mate, I try my best. Like, maybe 1 or 2 days off a week, right? But at the minute, with me, as people probably see online as well, I'm up and down with my weight. I just want to find that spot where it's consistent. It's a life change rather than I'm going on this brutal diet for a month. You know what I mean? Because I did that before. I went really slim, and then it's not sustainable. You know what I mean?
Look in the mirror, take the picture, done. Right, that's it. Back on it.
But it's the same. It's the same with drink. You know, my dad always says Tennet always needs something in the hand, right?
Yeah.
That's what he said that the other day, and it stuck with us. It's like, it's either a drink or a tab sometimes, like, or I don't know. But the gym just helps us. It's a healthy addiction.
Focus.
Do you know what I mean?
A good focus. You can kind of, stay in that lane and know what you're driving to, kind of thing, achieve. Yeah, no, that's good.
100%, mate.
That's really good to know.
But I was a dead sporty kid as well.
I
used to love the rugby.
Did you play football?
I did. I played football. I was never the best. I was a kid sporty kid, but I was just like, people were much better than me at football.
Right, no,
you were a good footballer, weren't you?
I know. Too bad, Obviously, my twin brother played, but I wasn't. I was more so into the singing and all that kind of stuff. But,
well, that's what happened with me, to be fair. It all got put on the back burner once the music happened.
So, talk to me about the highlight of your. Because obviously you've been doing this for a long time, right? So you met Dave and Joe years back, right? And they've obviously, been managing you in your career. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about the biggest highlight that you can think of, like the kind of peak of the mountain from your career so far.
For me, that last tour was tour. It's broad,
I love it, tour.
No, but that last tour, honestly, that was pretty special.
Right.
I just thought, like, we're doing 7 shows down. I couldn't get my head around that. Like,
and you sold out every show.
But I think there was 2 that, but like, the room was full. Like, it's like,
I was there for London. Well, Jazz Cafe on the second tour, and then one of the early tours. Was that last year you did when you?
We done 2 last year.
Yeah. That was exactly. And I was there for the London show, and that was amazing.
You always come, so I really appreciate that, my man.
Well, come on, man, come on, bro. Well, what's obviously I couldn't go to the North ones, right? Over working and all that, but seeing how many people were at the London show, the first one, and then seeing Jazz Cafe, and I was like, what on earth has happened here? Like, so
me and that was a big jump, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, massive.
But that last tour, I was like 300 plus every venue, and I was like, I'm in like Bristol, and there's like 300 people turning out. I'm like, that is just a bit mind-boggling to me, and that is, I do have to give that to social media as well. Like,
of course.
And like,
so it's
TikTok,
definitely, when you're going to Bristol, it's definitely Bristolians. It's not like people from London travelling. That it's Bristolians that are like.
Or I think the Welsh come to Bristol as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. Like, if I'm playing Manchester, there's Liverpoolians there, and that,
but it's
as well.
Northerners, like, so, and then it's like the Welsh. Yeah, that's.
I mean, the next tour though, we're gonna hit a lot more as well. Like, we just want to grow it every time, man. The next one's gonna be on track as well. So we've got all the like howies and like the chants and like and string part and stuff. So the sound, we just want to elevate the sound every time, because we don't want people to come to the next one and be the same as the last. You know what I mean? Luckily, we're releasing an album this year, you know, so we've got loads of new.
What's the date that you're releasing the album? Have you got a date?
I don't think we've got the date settled, but we've definitely got the first few singles settled. But I don't know if we're ready to release that. I don't know. No, well, 23rd of Feb. We're releasing 2 songs. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
but I can't wait, man. Debut album.
Oh,
that's unreal to say, innit? Like, for any artist to even release a debut album, I think. Like,
of course. I can't wait to hear like even more material, man. Because as I said, man, those 4 tunes that you sent over to me, man, I thought he's doing it. He's doing it, man. Like, honestly, all the way back from Princess, that's one of my favourite tunes you've ever done. That's one of my favourites. But you're still providing that high level of quality, and your songwriting. Looking at the lyrics, like I was listening to it, thinking he's definitely progressed, man. Definitely progressed.
It's just because I want to tell my story a bit more as well, and let people into my brain. Like, even this, like, you know what I mean. I want people to know who I am.
It's therapeutic.
It is, mate, and I am seeing it as therapy these days as well. Like, I don't know, just I am very proud of this album.
Be proud, bro.
I really am.
That's it.
But
okay, so I've got probably one last question for you that I mean, this is a singer-to-singer question.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, that your voice is, I think it's unique. I work with plenty of singers, you know. Mm-hmm. I think your voice is really unique. When I hear myself sing, I'll go to my favorites or whatever. I know that, I'd hear certain songs and be like, oh, I've copied that riff from like years ago. Are there particular singers that you could like listen to and think, that has definitely influenced the way that I sing, the way that I riff, the way that I like?
In Love with Another Man, Jasmine Sullivan.
Right.
I don't know if you've heard that.
Of course.
But mate, that I just used to copy that. That's how I learned to run, really.
Really?
My sister just came in from school one day and was like, oh, I've got to hear this girl. Because we love the James Morrisons of the world, like the soul. We love the soul music, you know what I mean? But Jasmine Sullivan, I think I sat for just a month and just was like, if I could forget him. I was in the shower the other week, man. Last time I was here, I was just like,
do you know who can sing that really well as well?
Who?
Dave.
Oh,
I remember Davey.
You could sing that.
I remember Davey playing that on piano and singing that. We'll have to try and see if we can cut him in singing a little bit of that, because he can go for it.
And you know how a song just touches you?
Yeah, it's proper.
It's proper. When I was a kid, I was dead like emotional over music. Like, I do think as I've got an adult, it is me work now as well, like, you know what I mean? But I felt when I was younger, like, I could like sit and cry over a song, and like, I do get that every now and then now as well. But I think when I was younger, I was just so, like, the passion was just going out of us, like, you know what I mean?
It's so interesting because, and actually, it's a question that I want to ask you, because obviously now, like with music, it's kind of like, I know this is maybe my feeling on it, but everything seems to be clicks and hits and numbers, and everything's so linear. Like, it needs to be, this amount and all this kind of. I know it just feels very kind of boxy, very kind of like I don't know. It's not a feeling that I remember growing up. Listening to music. So
I would totally agree with you as well. Like,
do you find that like kind of disappointing? Because what I found interesting is what you were saying about feeling emotional about music. Because I remember when I was younger, listening to music almost like, and not being able to describe it. So it was like colors or thoughts or memories is the way that I would kind of identify with music. But how do you find like feeling how you were back then, being emotional and kind of listening to music in a certain way to what it is now?
I don't know, I do think, but when you say it is clicks, and I think it's like obviously streaming's changed everything. And like even now when I'm writing a song, I'm like, oh, the intro can't be too long because like Spotify needs, like people need to hear the song. People need to love the song in the first 3 seconds, you know what I mean? Which is mental. So people are conforming to that, I think, as well.
Right.
Maybe like you wouldn't hear Bohemian Rhapsody now, you know what I mean?
Cool.
A 7-minute bloody
which is crazy.
Epic song.
It's crazy, ain't it?
And that's really sad, to be honest. But it's just the way it is, you know what I mean? And
people, the world, that's it, yeah, man.
But I hope that I do think it dips in and out, and I do think in the future the long song will come and the real art will come back, you know. But my songs are really pop as well, you know. I love pop music, like I have to say.
Yeah, I think it's more so how it's received. Like you said, you know, like the likes of Spotify, and knowing that you've got to try and conform to what is popular or what is going to be received well by the masses. I think that's the difficult part for me. Like, I mean, you know, just that pressure must be.
Mate, I'm as bad as anyone. Like even really, like, because I haven't released in so long, I do brick it. Like I do care what people think, and sometimes I do sit myself down. Like, just if you love it from the bottom of your heart, it's just art, innit? It's my voice. It's art. If I love it, then that doesn't matter if it gets 2 streams. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
how it should be.
I know
exactly
it really should, but
that.
obviously I'm only human, you know. Like
Yeah.
I do really struggle with that as well. Always did in school as well. I really cared what people thought of us. You know what I mean?
Right.
I hope that like it has died down as I've got older, but.
So I mean, for funny that do you take that onto the stage as well? So like, are you sitting there thinking the extra pressure comes from, right, are they going to accept me for? Because what must be funny is that obviously they bought a ticket to come and see you, right? So you know they.
Mate, and I'm sitting backstage saying no one's going to turn up. Even if it's sold out, I'm like, there's something deep rooted going on here. Like, no, but I'm just like,
but that must keep you humble. I think as you are a humble guy, man. I think you know, selling out Jazz Cafe is no mean feat. That's like. No,
but like Joan Davis, like, mate, what are you going like? You're an idiot. You know what I mean?
Because you've got, as I said, you're not like a diva with it. Your voice is fire. There's not many singers in UK that can do what you do. That's, you know,
mate, I really appreciate that as well.
That type of voice and how unique it is. So it is, you know, weird to hear you say that you know you don't feel, you know, like as confident as you should.
I'm just full. I am full of anxiety backstage, but I do, once that first song's over with,
you're ready.
I'm just like taking it all in, like, you know what I mean?
And that's how it should be.
And I've got my own issues, you know what I mean? Like,
we're all human, bro.
Exactly.
We're all human beings, man. If this was about me and I was in your chair, I'll be talking to you about all kinds of stuff.
And I've got great family as well, great friends like yourselves.
Amazing.
I'm surrounded by beautiful people, literally. So I'm a lucky man, honestly. And I need to practice gratitude a bit more. Because I remember a point in my life, I was waking up every day like, I'm the luckiest man ever. And that's the happiest I've ever been, I think. Like,
that's lovely.
But you slip in and out of it, don't you? Like, sometimes it's like,
of course.
You can't be the perfect.
We all have our ups and downs, man. All of have it. And especially, like you were saying, doing something like you're doing. You're trying to be a big star, right? And get original music that's honest and true to you out to the world. That is going to bring us pressures, man. So, like, don't beat yourself too much about, you know, don't beat yourself up too much about that. Do you know what I mean? So,
no, mate, you're right, though, I know.
And then just because I know, obviously, you were in a music deal fairly recently. Yeah. What's the deal with that? Are you signed, unsigned now? What's the deal?
We're actually independent now.
You're independent, completely independent. Okay.
Which is scary but really exciting, you know?
Of course.
Because I think it was a mutual decision in the end, but it just wasn't happening and it wasn't working out. But yeah, all respect to them as well. Lovely people. Mm-hmm. But you just got to do what you think's right for you as well. And I think me, Joe and Dave have just been ready to, I don't know, we've been here from the ground up, right? And I just feel like we could just smash this on our own. And it would feel so good as well if we did it on our own, do you know what I mean? It's like, and like they are working their arses off, by the way, as well. Like, they've just been to India and they're having to work every day because they're doing kind of label services now as well.
Of course.
But mate, I'm so lucky to have them. They're taking the job on like it's it's nothing, you know what I mean? It's like
I guess with doing it independently, obviously like you said, it is scary, and like
It is.
you're thinking you haven't got that support over. But on the plus side of that, I guess it does mean that you've got more creative kind of freedom to do
Control.
control.
That's
the
what I mean,
word,
because
exactly
that's
that.
probably where it didn't work with the label as well. We had a different idea of what route I was going down.
I see.
And I was actually quite proud of myself in the end. Like, I think they wanted a song that I wasn't the most proud of.
Mm-hmm.
But even though I wrote it, it was just a bit like it didn't have any story that there was no story about me like this music is, you know what I mean?
Right.
I really
it wasn't
wanted
as
to
honest as what this
It wasn't as honest, and it was a bit more to please maybe radio, and like, and I'm really proud of myself for just saying no, you know what I mean? Because I am a bit of a yes man, so I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that.
No, that's nice,
but
man.
mate,
And
it
now you
feels
can
good.
be you, basically,
and
right?
Like,
So
and as long as I don't know, it's just I'm happy that I did that, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'd like to say full respect to them, but I'm buzzing to be on my own now as well, and I don't know. Come on, you know these
Love
two
it.
as well.
Love it.
We're gonna smash it, man.
That's it. Well, listen, man, this has been a great conversation,
Mate, I've loved it, honestly.
and we're gonna do one more. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
To 2024.
Gonna neck it now.
Man, yeah.
Shot.
Sonny, honestly, wish you the best of
Mate,
luck,
thank
man.
you so much, mate. Honestly,
Can't wait to hear the album
you're a star, mate.
when that's going to be released, and
Come on.
anything you're doing throughout the rest of this year, man. I'm going to be there. So, yeah,
Mate,
full support.
thank you so much, mate.
Bro.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, man.
My man.
Wicked. Yeah.
Got me walking on that shit.